How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
We're not. Truth of the matter, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck with credit card debt.
Let's be real here for a minute. How are the average working Americans just surviving the economy right now? Because let me tell you, my electric bill that is due tomorrow was $1,000.
When you're working a job with people, y'all doing the same job, making around the same money, but here they come with brand new cars, just got a new house, keep having babies, and you trying to figure out where your next meal coming from.
I'm a barista. I am. And today, the amount of debit and credit cards that were declined were astronomical. I'm talking the highest amount ever in one day that
How are people actually affording life right now? This is a video that I have been seeing countless of time on my timeline on TikTok of people making videos and asking other people how they are affording life right now. So like really, I would also like to know how are people affording life right now? Like how are we surviving in this economy? Because like seriously, rent is high, interest rate is high, groceries are expensive, gas prices are off the roof, but somehow people still have money in this economy to go out and buy houses, to go out and buy cars and travel, take like expensive travel trips, do all the things that they used to do before, like nothing is going on, or we are not like in a financial difficult economy. You know what I mean? So like would love to know, like, how are people surviving? How are people like affording life right now?
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
We're not. Truth of the matter, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck with credit card debt. I know people who are legitimately putting gas and groceries on credit cards just so that they can get back and forth to work. I believe that this is what most people are now calling the silent depression. $100 has become the new $20 and it's ridiculous, but the best thing about it is that people have shifted their core values. Look at this app alone and all the videos of all the retailers on Black Friday that nobody was there. They just don't care anymore. People are realizing that if it doesn't bring value into my life, then I don't need it. And while I don't get political on this app, you're having people on both sides of the aisles going, yeah, this kind of sucks. Right wing, left wing, it doesn't matter. It's the same bird. And now so many Americans are going, I truly just, I don't care. I think it's woken a lot of people up to the idea of why are we funding things that we don't care about when all of us right here are struggling. It's changed the people's attitude in the workforce to where a job is just a job. You used to be very loyal to a job, but they've seen that there's no employee loyalty because there's no employer loyalty. People aren't putting up with toxic bosses anymore. You're either going to treat me right or I'm going to leave, because there's tons of companies that are hiring because nobody can find help. People just don't trust the system anymore, and they're starting to focus on what matters the most. Most people are out here making more money than they ever have and realizing that it's not going anywhere. So they're just not spending it. And what has made a lot of people turn their back on the system is that now they somehow either make too much or not enough money to qualify for the government assistance that they've been paying into their entire life. There are people out there who can't afford to buy the groceries, but they make too much money to get the food stamps. A lot of people are out here calling it the depression. I like to call it the awakening. People are just realizing how much they can get done on their own and that they don't need the government to hold their hand. So to go back to your question, how are people making it? Financially, I don't really know. But I'm very grateful that people are starting to look for answers.
Nothing really compared to that confusion you get when you're working a job with people, y'all doing the same job, making around the same money, but here they come with brand new cars, just got a new house, keep having babies, and you trying to figure out where your next meal coming from. Like, yeah, I had to go put a down payment and buy a 2008 Ford Fusion. And you coming here with a brand new Beamer? That don't, wait a second. Wait a second. You having another baby? How many you got? 4. I can barely take care of myself on this money, bro. We making little money. Little money, and your wife don't work. So how are you taking care of a family of 5 with $40,000? I know I ain't making shit. I know you ain't making shit. Man, all hands and make that money scratch, can't it? Damn. They gotta be making plays. They gotta be making plays.
Poor like myself, you might be asking the question, how do people have money? How are they affording anything in life? And I'm here to tell you, they're not. How do I know? I'm a barista. I am. And today, the amount of debit and credit cards that were declined were astronomical. I'm talking the highest amount ever in one day that I've had to go up to people and be like, hey, I'm so sorry. Actually, this didn't go through. Do you have another card? And then them all giving me the same answer. Oh, really? No, I don't. And then leaving. Because, like, they're just giving me their cards, hoping, praying, not checking their bank account, just hoping it gets through so they can have a little caffeine to get them through their day. We don't have money. None of us have money, you know? They're just pretending they do, which sometimes works. Sometimes you have a few bucks just to get your coffee. Other times you don't. It was sad. It was a sad day. I also, during the holidays, this is the best tipping season. People love to tip during the holidays. And I know a lot of people feel weird about tipping. That's your business. I will tell you, it is the lowest tipping season I've ever had. And it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad at it. I'm just letting you guys know where we stand. Economically, it's low. So if you're like, damn, I'm so poor, everyone else has money, we don't. None of us do. We're faking it, baby. We're pretending.
Let's be real here for a minute. How are the average working Americans just surviving the economy right now? Because let me tell you, my electric bill that is due tomorrow was $1,075. Yes, you heard that right. $1,075 for 28 days. And before you come at me and say that I need to go on a budget and yada, 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 no, I'm not doing a budget plan, because what happens with a budget? Eventually, the money that you didn't pay towards your electric bill from the budget, you have to pay back to the electric company. So I would rather have a variable bill each month and just pay it than be stuck on a ridiculous budget. And if we think it's bad now, it's only about to get
How are
worse.
people surviving financially nowadays? Because me and my husband make decent money. We only have one child. We have regular cars. We're still paying them off, so we have car payments. We live in a decent area, nothing fancy. And I feel like we're constantly struggling. And there's people that make less money than me and us, actually, and they're living wild lives. Like, are people just racking up all this debt? Or am I just doing something really, really, really wrong? Because I feel like I'm always trying to pay something off, or I'm always on a budget. And then student loans are due next month and nobody's talking about it. Like, how?
This is a genuine question. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny or anything like that. But genuinely, how are you guys affording life? Because I don't have kids and me and my man don't have kids. We both go half on the mortgage and the bills, and we're still barely making it by. So I really don't understand how, like, people with children or even one child, like, how are you guys affording life? Like, I don't, like, where are you getting the money from? Like, do you guys have like 3 or 4 jobs? Do you have like side hustles? Like, are you taking out loans? Like, do your parents have money? Like, I know everyone can't have a good paying job, like, because majority of people that I know, you know, we have average jobs. So where are you guys getting this money from? Did you guys like save money from, you know, when things were better in the world? Or like, genuinely, I really am asking, I really want to know, like, how are you guys affording life right now?
I don't understand how people are surviving. I don't, because all that's coming up on my Instagram feed, my TikTok feed, literally everything is people buying houses, people getting married, having these expensive weddings, having babies, going to Thailand, going to Japan, going to Mykonos. I made a pretty good salary. A couple years ago before COVID, I made like $85K, which is like enough to survive in New York City. And my salary was slashed like almost by a third, just because people don't value design and marketing as much anymore ever since AI. And I'm like living paycheck to paycheck. I work a 9 to 5. Sometimes I work over a 9 to 5 because I work overtime. I work a good job that I went to school for, got a degree for. I have 10 years of experience, and I have enough money to buy my medicine, buy my food, buy a couple nice outfits, maybe a dinner. Like, everything else is bills. Like, how are people affording their lifestyles? And I know not all of it is like credit card debt or rich parents. Like, I've asked some people, and like, they genuinely are just better at saving, but it's like, it's impossible to save and budget when you're only making enough to survive. And I'm barely paying rent. I'm paying my parents' rent, but it's not like real rent. It's like reduced rate. And it's just like, I don't even make enough money right now as someone who has a full-time 9 to 5 in the advertising industry to afford a 1-bedroom. I do not make enough money to afford an apartment on my own.
Oh my God, how do they afford that? They can't. They can't. It's 2026. No one can afford anything. We just make decisions and see if we live through them. That's it. That's it.
I think most people are affording life right now because they have multiple streams of income. I believe that most people are doing extra jobs on the side to substitute for the income that their low income. So I think a lot of people are taking jobs like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and a lot of people are also using credit cards. A lot of people are going in debt. They're using credit cards to pay their rent. They're using credit card to pay for everything, in turn putting themselves in debt. And a lot of people are also doing the whole buy now, pay later, or just taking on more debt to afford their lifestyle. I think that's how people are surviving right now. A lot of people that are also struggling, but you can barely see it because of the way they're living their life. They are struggling, but they're taking a step back from what they usually used to do, like extra activities or going out to eat. And they're just cutting back a lot of things. And they're also living paycheck to paycheck. You might not see it on social media, but they are also struggling. You know what I mean? Just know you're not alone if you're struggling. There's a lot of people out there that is also struggling, but they have to adjust to the current situation that they are in right now. You can't just go out and eat every day. If you're having money problems and you can't afford to keep up with your lifestyle or your bills or anything, I suggest that you cut back a lot of things that you used to do before. The extra income is not there. I would suggest that you cut back eating out 4 or 5 times a week to like maybe twice or once. Start cooking, do groceries, even though groceries are high, but you get more. You get more in terms of like food when you cook it. You know what I mean? But I think we are all struggling, but people are just cutting back or putting on debt to like keep up with their lifestyle. A lot of people are doing very, very well in this economy, and a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling. They don't even know where and how their next meal is going to come from, or how they're going to pay their rent for next month. So yeah, this is the economy that we find ourselves in. But let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.